Broadcasting live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Here's your host, Andrew Romanella.
Okay? Like, just get the hell out of here. Nobody cares what you think if you're not a Mets fan.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another edition of the Rome Show, broadcasting live on YouTube, Twitter, X, Instagram, and Facebook. I am your host, Andrew Romanella. We got you for the next 30 minutes. It's Monday, December 8th, 2025, and there's so much to talk about. The college football playoff bracket was released, and some people are pissed off. Is the bowl era in college football over? We'll dissect that. In week 14 in the National Football League, some major wins, major losses, and major injuries, which we will have to break down. Of course, our favorite segment of Monday, your weekend's worst and your weekend's best. And then, of course, we finished the show off with a little Monday Night Football preview. We got the Los Angeles Chargers facing off at home against the defending Super Bowl champion on a 2-game losing streak, Philadelphia Eagles. So, as I mentioned just before, so much to do today. Let's stop wasting time on the pleasantries and let's start getting into it. Oh, wait, I didn't finish though. YouTube.com/The Romanellas. That's YouTube.com/The Romanellas. Twitter, X, and Instagram, The Rome Show 1, The Rome Show, then the number 1, and Facebook.com/The Rome Show. The college football playoff bracket was released yesterday. Selection Sunday happened after Friday and Saturday presented us with, for the most part, some really good college football conference championship games over the weekend. Here's the deal. Going into the conference tournaments on Friday and Saturday, there's been a lot of discussion from the talking heads like myself about how the college football selection committee should go about getting these teams into the playoff. What is the criteria that matters? Does it matter that you make it to a conference championship game? Does it matter more that your strength of schedule's there and you beat some of these good teams? So many question marks surrounding what's going to happen in the college football playoff. And it presented a lot of drama over the weekend. From Duke being a 5-loss team in the ACC title game against a 1-loss team, Virginia. James Madison, how about 3 years ago, was essentially an FCS school? Now they're in the college football playoff after winning their conference. Tulane, also in the college football playoff. So here is what your bracket looks like. Your number 1 overall seed, the Indiana Hoosiers, winning their first Big Ten title. It's good stuff. Kurt Signetti, 2 years at Indiana, 24 victories, 2 losses, a Big Ten championship, and a number 1 seed in the college football playoff undefeated season. They defeated the favorite to win the college football playoff title, the Ohio State Buckeyes. Pretty crazy. I saw this stat yesterday. The Buckeyes have not won the Big Ten outright conference title in like 6 or 7 years. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? That just goes to show you, to go back to the other debate about how little importance, unfortunately, the college football playoff cares about the championship games. The conference championship is so lack of importance in college football, that'll just go to show you that. Then you have Georgia, the winner of the SEC title, as the 3 seed, and then Texas Tech, the winner of the Big 12 title, as the 4 seed. Those top 4 teams get a bye during the first week of play. There are 4 games on the first week of play between 5 through 12 ranked teams. 5, University of Oregon, they'll face off against number 12, the aforementioned James Madison University. Number 6, Ole Miss Rebels. I am arguably the greatest Ole Miss fan for someone that never even stepped foot on that campus. Came close to going to school there. Don't even know if I've been in the state of Mississippi, maybe but one time. After what Lane Kiffin did, huge Rebels fan on this side of the table. They'll take on Tulane, the 11th seeded Green Wave. The number 7 seeded Texas A&M Aggies will take on the 10 seeded Miami Hurricanes, who again benefited from some of those tough losses in conference championship games. None more important to them than the University of Virginia and I believe the University of Alabama. Though, as the 9 seed, Alabama's in, playing the 8 seed Oklahoma Sooners. That is your field of 12. What you might notice is that Notre Dame is not in this bracket, and rightfully so. Okay. Notre Dame was sitting at 10-2 or 9-2, one of those two. Okay. 2 losses against 2 teams that are in this bracket. They're not in a conference. They don't play the strongest strength of schedule. They play a quote unquote pseudo ACC schedule, but nonetheless, when you look at a lot of these other teams, the resumes, and the fact that they have to play in a conference, and for most of them, as you could tell, because we have 5 SEC schools in the 12-team playoff, being in a conference matters, or at least it should definitely matter more than not being in a conference. If we're going to go ahead and say that we don't care necessarily if you make the conference tournament championship game, I'm not okay with that, but I can understand that more than we're going to put you in, but you don't even compete against the conference schedule, which is one of the harder things to do. Okay? So Notre Dame has some real decisions moving forward for themselves. Do we want to continue this independent thing, which is probably most lucrative for our university and probably the most lucrative for our football team, but is the least beneficial when it comes to making the college football playoff and giving yourself a real chance at a national championship? Unless Marcus Freeman comes out here and schedules what is an SEC schedule as an independent. You have to play 3 or 4 SEC schools along with the 7 or 8 ACC schools you play. That is the only way Notre Dame can begin to build a resume without being in a conference. So at least there is one sanctity of traditional make the playoffs left in college football, and that's the committee keeping Notre Dame out of the field of 12, which is exactly what should have happened. The other side of this argument, which I agree with, is the fact that BYU at 11-2 is not in, with a stronger schedule than Miami, and the fact that they made it to the conference championship game. Same with Oklahoma. And they have 11 wins, whereas Alabama has 9. 2 losses, Alabama has 3. Both losses for BYU are against Texas Tech, who's the number 4 seed in the tournament. What I'm getting at here is that there is completely not a great system for the choosing of these teams for the college football playoff. Why, though? Because they want as many SEC schools in as possible. That's just a fact. Here's what the College Football Playoff Committee believes. I'll get you inside their doors if you were wondering. Nobody that's not an SEC school or Ohio State's going to win this title. That's exactly what they're thinking. Well, the SEC is the best conference, man. You know, best conference. Well, the last 2 champions were Big Ten schools. So am I missing something? And yes, I would probably agree with you. The SEC is the best conference in every single sport. But for the sanctity of what you're trying to do here in college football, you need to reset the barometer here as to what we're trying to do. Because I was watching Duke celebrate the ACC title, and instead of feeling excited and happy for the Duke Blue Devils, I said, what a waste. That's some BS. They just fought their tails off in an elite conference to make it to the point of being in the championship game, and you get no reward for that? There's no reward? Like, for example, if my team finishes at 21-19 during the regular season this year, but we have a 9-6 record in conference, and that's good enough for top 4 in the conference, we go to the conference playoffs. Now, if we go and win that conference playoffs, we are automatically in to the NCAA tournament. We go to a regional, or if we were good enough, we'd host a regional. That's exactly how it should be in every single sport. What makes March Madness so much fun when it comes to college basketball? The fact that the conference tournament teams, they lead us up to the tournament, and there's underdogs beating teams that shouldn't be and getting to the tournament. There's a path. You don't have to be a top 55, 65 team in college basketball to believe you can make the tournament. There is 2 paths to the tournament. You win your conference, or you're an at-large bid. That's how it should be. There should be no other conversation here. Decide what conferences matter. Because if we're putting Tulane in and we're putting James Madison in, we believe that they're good enough. Okay? So you put the 4 Power 4 conferences in. You choose the next 4 best conferences. Been saying this from the inception of the college football playoff. And then you have 4 spots available for at-large bids. Once this thing eventually expands to 16, which everybody knows it's going to, then you have 8 spots available for you to make an at-large selection. But the fact that a team can win a quote-unquote Power 4 conference, they could win a conference tournament, and that's the end of their season, is ridiculous. To finish, what you're seeing now is a lot of these schools opting out of the bowl opportunities. Here's the statement from Notre Dame from yesterday. Once they did not make it into the college football playoff, they released this statement. As a team, we've decided to withdraw our name from consideration for a bowl game following the 2025 season. We appreciate all the support from our families and fans, and we're hoping to bring the 12th national title to South Bend in 2026, the 2025 Notre Dame football team. This is on the heels of Iowa State, Kansas State, and 6 other universities opting out of bowl season right now. This is a culmination of all of the issues that are about to bubble to the surface for college football. Iowa State and Kansas State were both fined $500,000 for not accepting their bowl invitation. 9 so far, and it's only going to get deeper today. There's only going to be more teams that elect not to do bowl games today. And I think not only is the college football playoff going to either end conferences in college football or reinvigorate conferences in college football, the college football playoff is about to end the bowl games. It's about to end the 3.5-week-long bowl extravaganza that has gone on, which is sad because we were just working on naming rights for the RomeShow.com radio bowl. But hey, I guess we just got in there a little bit too late. We'll see. The state of college football, it's been ever-changing. College sports in general have been ever-changing. But wow, college football in a wild location. You're listening to The Rome Show here. We broadcast live on youtube.com/The Romanellas, The Rome Show 1, Instagram and X, and The Rome Show on Facebook. We'll take a quick commercial break here. We come back. We still got to do our weekend's best, our weekend's worst, run you through week 14 in the National Football League, and get you ready for Monday Night Football. Stay with us here. We'll be back in a minute and a half on The Rome Show. So much to do on a Monday.
What is one thing every great leader has in common? They challenge their people to not stop at the first right answer. Tighten the Lug Nuts is a leadership book that will teach you how to move past the first right answer with entertaining and detailed examples founded in real-world concepts and experiences. Accelerate towards your professional goals with Tighten the Lug Nuts, one of the best leadership books available.
Welcome back into the Rome Show. I'm Andrew Romanella. Monday, December 8th, 2025. 7:29 in North Jersey. Got you for another 10, 15 minutes. A lot to do here on the Rome Show, including reminding you about our Rome Show Christmas schedule. Oh, baby. It is all holly and jolly here in the Rome Show. Let's just remind the people, we've given away 3 hoodies to this point. Okay, 3. All right, if you're wondering what the hoodie looks like that you could get, it's similar to the one on your screen. We got black. We got gray. One of our winners on Friday works at a school that has light blue, so we're going to do a little light blue jaunt. Nonetheless, this is the Rome Show, brand new, just designed, new make hoodie that we are giving away. Tomorrow will be another giveaway for the people. We have 4 more giveaways remaining in the month of December. 2 this week, 2 next week, and then you must stay locked on Twitter X and Instagram, as we will be putting out a post in the next few days. You repost that, you follow the show, you enter for a chance to win. So much giving away here on the Rome Show Christmas, December 2025. All right, people, let's do it. All right, here we go. We are going weekend's best, weekend's worst here for the people. Let's go ahead and start with our weekend's worst. Yeah, that would be the Baltimore Ravens. For those that might not have seen the game yesterday, the Ravens had but 49 chances to win the football game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they did not. And I don't know if you could blame it on the officials, the likely touchdown that wasn't a touchdown, all difficult things. But the Ravens clawed their way out of a crap record, get themselves to 6-5 heading into a Sunday Night Football or whatever last week. And now you're sitting here looking at the standings and you're going, the Ravens are 6-7 with the exact same record as the Miami Dolphins. All I know is that is not where you want to be if you're Harbaugh and the boys. Your first weekend worse goes to the Ravens. Speaking of football, let's stay in the American Football Conference, and our next weekend's worst goes to the New York Jetropolitans. Yeah, they get a second sad trombone there. Why, may you ask? Because for the 15th straight season, yeah, you heard that right. For the 15th straight season, the New York Jetropolitans will not be going to the postseason. Sad news, Bears. And It came at the expense of my Miami Dolphins, which made me really happy, obviously. But nonetheless, it is just a complete depiction of what has gone on in this franchise. There are people that are Jets fans that think it's bad, but yet they're 14 years old. They don't even know what a play. At least guys that are 20, 25, my age, they know what a playoff berth looks like. Here's a list, by the way, on your screen of the longest playoff droughts in North American sports. The Jets right up there at the top, 15 seasons. They have the longest drought in North American sports, and clearly in football, last appearance is 2010. The second longest drought is the Buffalo Sabres. In the National Hockey League, it's been 14 years since the Buffalo Sabres have made the postseason. The next few, they reside in Major League Baseball when you look at the Los Angeles Angels and the Detroit Tigers, both at 9. I'll tell you what, when people talk about being a fan of a sports team, you never think about these things. But when these things go on, you really start to reevaluate how much you care about that stupid green football team. The Jets, definitely some of the worst. How about Danny Dimes of the Indianapolis Colts? Does that not allow him to finish this awesome season with the Colts? But it also might put next season in jeopardy, looking at a minimum of a 9-month recovery. Danny Dimes, Riley Leonard, the former Notre Dame Fighting Irish quarterback who graduated last season as a rookie this year, will most likely be their starter moving forward. 4 teams remaining on their schedule. I believe 3 of them are in playoff contention. So not a good time for the Colts. Not a great time for Danny Dimes. We continue. A lot of weekends worse this weekend. How about the Virginia Cavaliers football team? It shouldn't be, because it's a historic season for the Hoos. They made it to the conference championship game. They were 11-1. The return to being a solid football program, most wins in the history of the school, and they lost 27-20 in overtime to Duke, and because of that, lost their chance in the college football playoff. I think it should be all positive in Whoville, Virginia. However, I could see why you'd be disturbed in this moment, considering you waxed that Duke team like 3 weeks earlier. So, Virginia, you get the womp womp. I got 2 more for the people. One of them is the Big 12 Conference, because they had nobody outside of Texas Tech in the college football playoff, which is cool. It's cool because they have a chance to win the Natty. But then they had 2 teams in Iowa State and Kansas State opt out. And when you look at the totality of these conferences, the ACC and the Big 12, ACC is supposed to be in there as well. The ACC and the Big 12 look like they are getting left behind. Like the SEC and the Big 10 are 2 really nice sports cars, and the ACC and the Big 12 are a good sedan. Nothing wrong with a nice sedan. I have a nice sedan, but that's what those 2 conferences are right now. Tough weekend for the ACC and the Big 12. Finally, I need you to watch this video from over the weekend. I don't know if it's a weekend's worst in terms of it's really kind of a best because I think it's hilarious, but it's a worst in terms of what happened. Check out this video from the Knicks game.
You see it all the time, players throwing it off. Normally, it's kind of like you're off balance and you want to.
Oh!
But he wound up like he's Nolan Ryan.
Looks like Desmond Bain had a problem with OG Anunoby. Let's watch that again. Going out of bounds.
Normally, it's kind of like you're off balance and you want to. But
and he just launches the ball at OG Anunoby. I don't know if that's a worst or a best or whatever, but I saw that video last night and I'm like, man, I got to show this to the people. Those are your weekend's worst. If you got a weekend's worst or you got a weekend's best, just remember you can comment live on the show. Head to youtube.com/the Romanellas. That's youtube.com/the the Romanellas. That's not just to go there and listen to the Rome Show, or not just to go there and comment on the Rome Show. You can go there. You can watch our golf content. You can watch Juliana Moves content. We have another podcast up. There are 100+ videos on the Romanella's YouTube channel that you can take a look at. So be sure to head to youtube.com/the Romanellas, hit subscribe, hit like, or head to Twitter X or Instagram. Oh, no. Oh, yes. Twitter X or Instagram, The Rome Show 1. That's The Rome Show. Then the number 1. I mean, you should all be following us on Twitter X and Instagram. And then finally, OG site. Shout out to my OG social media site users, Facebook. I don't know who out there is using Facebook right now. Probably my mom's. Shout out to you. You know, Facebook was the starter of this thing. Even especially the go live. It was only YouTube and Facebook for as long as I've ever known. Instagram and X really kind of snuck their way in there. But so many ways to watch the show. Just remember the Rome Show podcast wherever you get your podcast. Put the music back on. Let's get it going again. We got our weekend's best here for the people. My favorite. Oh, yeah, you are. And you know who that is? That's the Indiana Hoosiers, baby. The conference champions in the Big 12. You got to love it. I read a stat the other day that I thought was the coolest thing I have ever heard. In the 2 years that Curt Cignetti's been the head coach of the Indiana Hoosiers, there have been 0 4-star and 5-star recruits that have committed to the Hoosiers. He has developed and formed that team into exactly what he wants them to be. You don't got to buy into the hype. Oh, I got to have the best recruiting class in the country. What's it doing for Louisiana State University right now? The Indiana Hoosiers were the worst college football team in the nation ever in the history of time. In 2021, they were 2-10. 2022, they were 4-8. 2023, they were 3-9. Then the Cignetti effect happened. 2024, 11-2. And now 2025, 13-0. And the Big Ten championship. Congratulations to the Indiana Hoosiers. Curt Cignetti, what an awesome story you are. Yeah, you are. All right. We keep going. Yes, we do. How about the New York Football Giants? Why would you be? Well, I'll tell you what, you're simply the best because the Tennessee Titans won a football game over the weekend. Yeah! And now the New York Giants hold the #1 overall pick in this April's National Football League draft. I know. Wow, to be a Giants fan is absurd because you're like, oh, it's lost. This sucks. We're in the bye week. Our team's terrible. Though we have the quarterback and though we have a running back and we fired our head coach and all this other things, and maybe it's better. I don't know what it is. But all I know is, how would it be a bad year if the Giants finished 2-6-15, the #1 overall draft pick, Cam Scatabo and Jackson Dart, with a chance to reset the head coach, and he gets a #1 overall pick that doesn't have to be a quarterback? You can get an offensive lineman, a defensive lineman, or something else that you really need, a weapon for this guy outside of Neighbors. Oh, my God. If you're the Giants, you won this weekend. We continue. Yeah, you know who's simply the best? This guy, Jack Tucker. Can you check this out for me really quickly? This dude, okay, decided that he was going to do a declaration of him entering the workforce after being all said and done with college. You might not be able to fully read what we have on the screen there, but I can give you the gist of it. He essentially said he wants to thank his coaches for everything they've done. He's thankful for his family. He's thankful for his height. He put in there, it's 6'7" feet. So yeah, I love that. But then at the end finishes with that being said, I would like to formally declare for the job market with 46 years of eligibility remaining. Jack Tucker, former Liberty football flame, you are. Yeah, you are, dude. That's awesome. I appreciate the laugh. You gotta love things like that coming out of sports. We got 2 more. Here they are. Inter Miami FC wins its first MLS title over the weekend. Congratulations to David Beckham's crew, Lionel Messi, and Inter Miami FC. That is the first championship in their MLS history. David Beckham was quoted saying when he took over Inter Miami FC, he wanted to win the title. He's always thought about how he won the title with the LA Galaxy as a player, wanted to win the title as an owner, and he finally did that. Also, by the way, Lionel Messi, greatest soccer player of all time, now has won literally every award pretty much imaginable that you can win in professional soccer on this side of the pond and the other side of the pond. Congratulations to Inter Miami FC. You are not. Yeah, you are. You're simply the best. All right, let's finish here. Your final best of the weekend goes to Jeff Kent, now Hall of Famer. That's right. You heard that correctly. Jeff Kent, Hall of Famer. He was inducted. Oh, we got to hit the sounder, duh. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame over the weekend. 290 career batting average, 377 home runs, 1,518 RBIs. He has the most home runs as a second baseman, played 16 seasons in Major League Baseball for the Blue Jays, the Mets, the Indians, now the Guardians, the Giants, the Astros, and the Los Angeles Dodgers. 5-time All-Star, NL MVP in 2000 with the San Francisco Giants, 4-time Silver Slug Award winner, and a San Francisco Giants Hall of Famer. Finished with nearly 2,500 hits, 1,320 runs scored, 2,298 games played, 560 doubles. Congratulations to Jeff Kent. You are. Yeah, you are. And that's your weekend's best and your weekend's worst for December 5, 6, 7, whatever you want to include. You got a weekend's best, you got a weekend's worst. I need you to comment live on the Instagram, The Rome Show. What? Comment live on the Twitter X or comment live on the YouTube. YouTube.com/The Romanellas, and let us know what your weekend's best and your weekend's worst were. 30 seconds, commercial break. We come back and we finish the show as we always do with a Week 14 Sunday recap and a Week 14 Monday night preview. Still so much to do here on The Rome Show. It's December 8th. It's 2025. It's Andrew Romanella. It's a commercial break. We're back after this.
What is one thing every great leader has in common? They challenge their people to not stop at the first right answer. Tighten the Lug Nuts is a leadership book that will teach you how to move past the first right answer with entertaining and detailed examples founded in real-world concepts and experiences. Accelerate towards your professional goals with Tighten the Lug Nuts, one of the best leadership books available.
It's the Rome Show! It's the Rome Show!
Welcome back into the Rome Show here. Andrew Romanella. 7:46 a.m. Monday, December 8th. Getting you ready to start your day off right, start your work week off right, start all the things off right. We are going to do this with a little Christmas tunes in the background to get the people ready for the holly and the jolly. Ladies and gentlemen, we're only like 17 days away from Santa Claus coming to town. We're only 24 hours away from giveaway number 3 on the Rome Show. If you missed the schedule, check it out. Another giveaway tomorrow. Got to tune in, 7:05. Answer the trivia question. Win yourself a hoodie. Be all fired up. Enjoy the holidays. Seems pretty simple to me. Let's finish this show with a little Monday morning quarterback. You can call it a recap. You can call it a preview. You can call it opinions. You can call it whatever you want, but it is time. Here we go. We start Sunday, 1 o'clock slate. The Miami Dolphins took on the New York Jetropolitans. We mentioned in the best and the worst that the Jetropolitans have been knocked out of the postseason for the 15th straight season. That was done by Tua Tagovailoa and the boys. It started with the running game between Jalen Wright and Devon Achane. Those two combined for 199 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns. Ollie Gordon also threw in a touchdown as well. 239 and 3 TDs total on the ground for the Dolphins. Jalen Waddle had a touchdown, 50 yards receiving. Achane got hurt. Don't know if it's serious. We'll find out. But that running attack's looking legit for the Miami Dolphins. And don't look now. But the Dolphins are 6-7. And though there's still a hard road to be fought to get to the postseason, they are merely only 2 games out of that final postseason spot. The Seahawks, they slaughtered the Falcons after a really tough start. Both teams scored 6 points in the first half. And then the Seahawks went out and scored 31 in the second half. They outscored the Falcons 31-3 in the second half to improve to 10-3 atop the NFC. Sam Darnold, 3 touchdowns, 249 yards through the air. Jackson Smith and Jigba, 7 receptions, 92 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The Bills, they scored 28 in the second half, including 21 in the fourth quarter, after being down by 10 points with 10 minutes left, and somehow absolutely handle the Bengals 39-34. What didn't look like a great offensive display and 11 points in the first half turned into 28 in the second half. The Bills got a much-needed victory. They improved to 9-4. They stay on the heels of the Patriots in the AFC East, but nonetheless, really get closer to securing themselves no matter what, a playoff berth, even if it is a wild card spot. There's still some question marks, though, especially on the defensive side. Joe Burrow in his second game back, 284 for touchdowns. The Titans, we mentioned before, the Giants now have the number 1 overall pick. Why is that? Because the Titans found a way to defeat the Cleveland Browns 31-29. They're 2-11. The Browns are 3-10. Only thing you need to know about this game, outside of the draft pick thing, is that Shedeur Sanders did something that a Browns QB has literally never done. Ran for a touchdown, threw for 3 touchdowns, and threw for over 350 yards. Did have a turnover, but we're not going to nitpick it that much right now. Shedeur Sanders, despite what some people out there might want to believe, is the answer, at least right now, for the Cleveland Browns. I started reading about that Deshaun Watson stuff, guys starting to return to play. If the Browns waste their time on that loser again, the whole organization deserves to be disbanded. Vikings, J.J. McCarthy, they look like a legitimate team. McCarthy, 16-23, 163, 3 touchdowns. That's exactly what the kid needed. Slow the game down. Just focus on football. Don't worry about the outside noise. The Vikings, real long shot to make the postseason. I don't think that matters really for that franchise right now. What really matters is this our guy or not? These last 4 games better tell us, or we have to pivot this entire plan. The Commanders, they suck. Jaden Daniels hurt again. 8-game losing streak. They're 3-10. The Saints and Tyler Show, 2 rushing touchdowns on the ground, defeat the Buccaneers 24-20 in a slop fest in Tampa Bay. Nothing really here for the Saints, but for the Buccaneers, they are in a battle for the NFC South right now. And they're in a battle to just make the postseason. Baker said it last week. We got to get healthy. They're not fully healthy yet. I don't know. I don't know if Todd Bowles is the guy. It's always been that way with Todd Bowles. But right now, with the talent that's on that team, though they're injured, it's feeling off right now in Tampa Bay, 7-6. Jags slaughtered the Colts. We mentioned the Daniel Jones injury. That had a lot to do with it. But Jacksonville did everything they wanted to do on offense in this game. The Colts have to clean up a lot, including their quarterback position and what's going on defensively for this team. Jags now lead the division at 9-4. The Colts 1 game back at 8-5. Huge game in the AFC North. The Steelers pull away 27-22. We mentioned it earlier. It wasn't a great football game. Neither of these 2 offenses is really good right now, and both defenses are just okay. I don't think either of these teams is really someone to be worried about when we get into the postseason. Nonetheless, though, the Steelers 27, Ravens 22. Big win coming off the Michael Tomlin fire chance in Pittsburgh last week. Aaron Rodgers, 284, 1 touchdown. DK Metcalf had a day. 7 receptions, 148 yards. The Broncos, they defeated the lowly Raiders 24-17. Not a lot to talk about here. They're 11-2, best team in the AFC. The Packers, they held off the Bears 28-21. How did that happen, you might ask? Because Caleb Williams threw an atrocious pick in the end zone to end this game. I think the Bears have a Caleb Williams problem. I really do. He's got the 32nd best completion percentage in the National Football League right now. He's not a number 1 overall pick. He could be the reason why the Bears aren't as good as the Bears should be. Jordan Love on the flip side playing some good football, not turning the ball over. 234, 3 touchdowns. Josh Jacobs, 86 yards on the ground, and 1 TD. Christian Watkins, 89 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns. Packers 9-3-1. Bears 9-4. Packers now atop the NFC North. The Rams did what they should do. They handled the Cardinals 45-17. Elite day for Puka Nacua, 167, 2 touchdowns. How about Blake Corum? Former Michigan Wolverine, 12 carries, 128 yards, 2 touchdowns. The Rams could be the best team in the NFC. We'll find out soon. And the Texans possibly ended the Kansas City Chiefs season last night on Sunday Night Football with a 20-10 victory. The Chiefs, they're just not that good, unfortunately. It's a revamp year. What's going to happen at the end of this season is a lot of question marks. Is it time for Andy Reid? Is it time for Travis Kelce? Can we put Mahomes more weapons? What's going to happen? Does Spagnuolo stay? Does he go be a head coach again? A lot of question marks. And it's okay. All great things come to an end. It's been 10 years, Kansas City Chiefs fans. It's been a decade. They won't win the AFC West this year. It's okay. Still some playoff hopes alive. And honestly, if you don't make the playoffs this year, if you're a Chiefs fan, take a deep breath. Just sit down, sit this one out, and come back next year because it's been an elite 10-year run for you. The Texans, on the other hand, are playing some really, really good football. After an 0-3 start, the Texans are on a 5-game winning streak and have won 6 of their last 7 games to be at 8-5 and sitting close. Not at the top yet, but close. 1 game behind the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's your Monday morning QB. Let's talk about the game this evening. The Chargers are hosting the Eagles. The Eagles offense has not been very good this season. They are 25th in passing yards per game at 196.3. They are 24th in total yards per game at 304.1 and 19th in the league in points per game at 22.5. Their defense has been doing a really good job of keeping them in all of these contests, only giving up roughly 21 points per game. But that doesn't mean, though, that teams aren't moving the ball on them because they've been going up and down the field at nearly 345 yards per game a clip. It's just the Eagles are doing a really good job of being a bend, don't break defense. This defense is good enough to hold the Chargers to 21, 17 points and give you a chance to win. But what is the offense going to be? Can the running game show up for Philadelphia? Can you get that moving a little bit? And can we just play normal football? Not too much to report home about negatively, not too much to report home positively. Play your game, run the rock, control the time of possession. Don't turn the ball over if you're Jalen Hurts. Get back to being who the Eagles are. If you're the Chargers, you've been fighting injuries all year. Okay, and still found a way to be a really good football team at 8-4. 23 points per game on offense, 346 total yards, good for 10th in the league. Justin Herbert having a year, 12th in the league in passing at 224.7, and they can run the rock a little bit at nearly 122 yards per game. The difference about this Chargers team than your father's Chargers team, they can play defense 3rd in total defense in the National Football League this year and 10th in points given up per game. This is going to be a really, really good contest tonight, and I'm going to favor the Chargers in this one. Vegas, however, is favoring the Eagles at 2.5. So if you're wondering what my bananas are going to be today, I am going with
Ba 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 banana. Ba ba ba.
the Chargers at 2 plus 2.5. And we have the over-under at 41.5. I'm going to take the over 41.5. I think the Chargers are way better than people give them credit for. I think the Eagles are way worse than we all want to believe because they're the defending Super Bowl champions, and we can't believe that what they've done the last 5 years. Same thing with the Chiefs. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe this. Oh, unfortunately, that's how quickly things change in the National Football League. Give me the Chargers at +2.5 and give me the over on the score 41.5. Thank you for tuning in today to the Rome Show here, broadcasting live on youtube.com/the Romanellas, Twitter X, Instagram, and Facebook. I am your host, Andrew Romanella. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 7:05, 7:10 a.m., and we have another giveaway during the Rome Show Christmas sweepstakes. So get excited, because I am. Andrew Romanella, have an electric Monday. Get your week started right. Until tomorrow, peace.
Thank you for listening.